Hello, lovely, and welcome to Tuesday evening. Feels like evening now that it's getting dark so early in the day. So I've been rereading, not for the first time. I've been rereading as I do many times, the fabulous book Playing Big by Tara Mohr. That's spelled Mohr. And Tara talks, obviously, about playing bigger, and it's a book that's designed especially for women of probably around about our age particularly. And it's all about how the structures that have been part of our growing up, part of our education, part of our working life, how sort of all those kind of learned behaviours are preventing us potentially from playing as big as we might want to. And so I'm just rereading from the beginning, and I'm at the introduction. And she talks about how the reason that she got into this work is because she had many clients, many female clients, amazing, brilliant women who held back from doing things that they had very strong ideas about, things that they had solutions for, because they just somehow didn't feel that they had what it took to make those things a reality. And she talks about a really interesting thing that made me think this morning about. She said, how often is it that you get together with other women? Maybe it's at the school gates, maybe it's at sporting fields, maybe it's out for a drink, and you put the world to rights, right? You with a group of other women, you've got all these ideas about how things should work in the world, and you talk about it all together, and then off you go your separate ways. And nobody actually does anything about any of those things. Nobody actually feels that they have what it takes to do something about those things. Well, let me not say nobody, because there are people who do, but there are many of us who have had those conversations, who've gathered with other women. We've found solutions, yet we haven't felt that we can take it forward to do something to make that thing better. And she also encourages you to think about how often you might have played a supporting role in your career to someone more senior than you, quite possibly male. And it reminds me of another idea from a book called Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office, which is a controversial book. There's a lot of people don't agree with some of the things in there. That one thing that did stand out to me in there was this idea that many of us women like to be the miracle worker. We like to be the person who will come in and solve a problem and deal with it when everyone else has gone home, and fix it and be the hero and be the miracle worker. And if somebody says to us, I really need a miracle worker, we're almost like, pick me, even if it means we have to stay back late after work and we don't get to go to the pub with everybody else. That one certainly resonated with me. So I don't know if that's something that resonates with you. But again, it's kind of playing that supporting role for other people to get the glory. Now, this may not be you, and fantastic if that's not you, but the numbers suggest that many of us feel like we can't do that extra thing. Now, I come from Australia, and you've probably guessed that from my accent. And coming to live in England, which I did more than 20 years ago, I feel very much like, well, I just don't know enough. I wasn't brought up here. I didn't go to the schools here. I didn't go to university here. Certainly didn't hang out with any Oxbridge types or anyone like that. So when I often feel that I just don't have the right background for certain things. So when when the somebody in government says something, there's just a little part of me that thinks, well, they must be right, because, they've been to all the right schools and had all the right education and all that kind of thing. So fortunately, I'm starting to grow out of that in my 50s. But I think many of us will feel that we're not experienced enough, or we're not educated enough. In fact, Carol Vorderman was saying the other day that it was the fact that she did go to Oxbridge. I can't remember which one, Cambridge, I think, and that she did grow up around a lot of the kinds of people who we've had in government in the past, that's what made her feel like she could call people out, because she actually knew that she had the same amount of brains and common sense and everything that they did, if not more. And that's an advantage that you might have if you have been to one of those universities. But nevertheless, many of us hold back on thinking that our ideas can't possibly be the ones that could make a difference. And that's something we need to stop doing. All right. Our lived experience, our ability to prepare and learn, because many women do over prepare and overlearn, and I'm one of them, because we like to feel we need to have everything sorted and all our ducks in a row. Really means we're actually very well placed. And there are so many examples of when women do set their mind to something. I mean, even something like Erin Brockovich, right? An example of someone who, had she not had some courage in her own convictions, then an injustice would have happened. And what is it going to take for us to feel that we can just play that bit bigger than we've been playing so far? So I highly recommend the book Playing Big to anyone who any of this resonates with. I use it with my coaching. I have trained with Tara Moore so that I can use her tools and her techniques to get over this issue. I am constantly learning as well, and we use it in my Missions Accepted program. And I can tell you that it's something that goes down very well with the women in the group, because it resonates. And some of them have the book on audiobook, so they listen to Tara talking to them when they feel like they need some extra courage to play that bigger. So I highly, highly recommend you read the book, but really have a think maybe about, in what ways are you not using your voice? Because we absolutely need women to contribute their full voices. And now a lot of that is there's structural things that need to change, but we can do what we can do ourselves and insist that our voices are heard, and not take the easy way and take a step backwards, which is what feels safe for many of us, right? But see if you can find some ways that you are doing that, and see if you can challenge yourself a little bit on that, because your voice is important. It really, really is. I don't know how much more I can say this, that we desperately need the voices of women like you in whatever area you feel impassioned about, to speak up, so that we can start seeing the changes that we need to see in the world.